Hey winners, good morning. Hope that you are doing good. So, I'm giving knowledge about the Customs Act 1962. I have created more than 45 videos on the Customs Act 1962 till date. So, you can watch all the videos in my channel in the playlist Customs Act 1962. So, guys, the Customs Act is very important to the customs brokers, importer, or exporters. So you must have the knowledge about the Customs Act 1962 before importing the goods or exporting the goods, or you have to appoint a agent for clearing your goods from the customs station. So we have discussed some sections from the chapter number 17 miscellaneous of the Customs Act 1962. So we have seen sections from 141 to section 150 in the chapter number 17 miscellaneous. In the same, section 141 is conveyances and goods in a customs area subject to control of officers of customs. Section 142 is recovery of sums due to government. Section 142A, liability under Act to be first charged. Section 143 is power to allow import or export on execution of bonds in certain cases. Section 143A is omitted. Section 143 AA, power to simplify or provide different procedure etc. to facilitate trade. Section 144 is power to take samples. Section 144 is power to take samples. Section 145 is owner etc. to perform operations incidental to compliance with customs law. Section 146 is license for customs brokers. Section 146A is appearance by authorized representative. Section 147 is liability of principal and agent. Section 148 is liability of agent appointed by the person in charge of a conveyance. Section 149 is amendment of documents. Section 149 is amendment of documents. Section 150 is procedure of sale of goods and application of sale proceeds. Okay, section 151 onwards we are going to see in this video. Section 151 is certain officers required to assist officers of customs. Section 151 is state that certain officers are required to assist officers of customs. So in the same section, the following officers are hereby empowered and required to assist officers of customs in the execution of this act, namely clause A, officers of the Central Excise Department; clause B, officers of the Navy; clause C, officers of police; clause D, officers of the central or state government employed at any port or airport; clause E, such other officers of the central or state governments or local authority as are specified by the central government in this behalf by notification in the official gazette. So section 151 is certain officers required to assist officers of customs. So in the same, officers of the Central Excise Department, officers of the Navy, officers of the police, officers of the central or state government employed at any port or airport, and clause E, such other officers of the central or state government or local authority as are specified by the central government in this behalf by notification in the official gazette. So these department officers can assist to officers of customs when the situation of that type has been arrived. So next section is section 151A. In the same, instructions to officers of customs. So section 151A is instructions to officers of customs. In the same, clearly mentioned that the board may, if it considers it necessary or expedient, so to do for the purposes of uniformity in the classification of goods or with respect to the levy of duty thereon, or for the implementation of any other provision of this act or any other law for the time being in force, insofar as they relate to any prohibition, restriction or procedure for import or export of goods, issue such orders, instructions and directions to officers of customs as it may deem fit, and such officers of customs and all other person employed in the execution of this act shall observe and follow such orders, instructions and directions of the board, provided that no such orders, instructions or directions shall be issued. Clause A. So as to require any such officer of customs to make a particular assessment or to dispose of a particular case in a particular manner, or clause B, so as to interfere with the discretion of the Commissioner of Customs Appeals in the exercise of his appellate functions. So section 151A is the instructions to officers of customs. So very important sections in the chapter number 17 Miscellaneous Customs Act 1962. Section 151B is reciprocal arrangement of exchange of information facilitating trade. Okay, section 151B is reciprocal arrangement for exchange of information facilitating trade. So in the same subsection 1, the central government may enter into an agreement or any other arrangement with the government of any country outside India or within such competent authorities of that country as it deems fit for facilitation of trade, enforcing the provisions of this act and exchange of information for trade facilitation, effective risk analysis, verification of compliance and prevention, combating and investigation of offences under the provisions of this act or under the corresponding laws in force in that country. Subsection 2. The central government may, by notification, direct that the provisions of this section shall apply to the contracting state with which reciprocal arrangement or agreement have been made, subject to such conditions, exceptions, or qualifications as may be specified in that notification. Subsection 3. Subject to the provisions of subsection 2, the information received under subsection 1 may also be used as evidence in investigations and proceedings under this act. Subsection 4. Where the central government has entered into a multilateral agreement for exchange of information or documents for the purposes of verification of compliance in identified cases, the board shall specify the procedure for such exchange, the conditions subject to which such exchange shall be made, and designation of the person through whom such information shall be exchanged. So subsection 4 is where the central government has entered into a multilateral agreement for exchange of information or documents for the purpose of verification of compliance in identified cases. The board shall specify the procedure for such exchange, the conditions subject to which such exchange shall be made, and designation of the person through whom such information shall be exchanged. Subsection 5. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 or subsection 2 or subsection 3, anything done or any action taken or purported to have been done or taken in pursuance to any agreement entered into or any other arrangement made by the central government prior to the date on which the Finance Bill 2018 received the assent of the President shall be deemed to have been done or taken under the provisions of this section. Explanation: for the purposes of this section, the expressions clause first, contracting state means any country outside India. in respect of which agreement or arrangement have been made by the central government with the central government or authority of such country through an agreement or otherwise. Clause second, corresponding law means any law in force in the contracting state corresponding to any of the provisions of this act or dealing with offences in that country corresponding to any of the offences under this act. Okay. So section 151B is reciprocal arrangement or exchange of information facilitating trade. Section 152 is delegation of power. Section 152 is delegation of power. The central government may, by notification in the official gazette, direct that subject to such conditions if any as may be specified in the notification. Clause A, any power exercisable by the board under this act shall be exercisable by a principal chief commissioner of customs or chief commissioner of customs or a principal commissioner of customs or commissioner of customs empowered in this way by the central government. Clause B, any power exercisable by a principal commissioner of customs or commissioner of customs under this act may be exercisable by a joint commissioner of customs or assistant commissioner of customs or deputy commissioner of customs empowered in this way by the central government. Clause C, any power exercisable by a joint commissioner of customs under this act exercisable by an assistant commissioner of customs or deputy commissioner of customs empowered in this behalf by the central government. Clause D, any power exercisable by an assistant commissioner of customs or deputy commissioner of customs under this act may be exercisable by an gazetted officer of customs empowered in this way by the board. So these are the very important sections in the Customs Act 1962. Section 52 is delegation of powers. So we have just see here section 152 delegation of powers. Now next section is section 153, and this is modes of services of notice, order, etc. So section 153 modes of service of notice, order, etc. Subsection 1, an order, decision, summon, notice or any other communication under this act or the rules made under there may be served in any of the following mode, namely clause A, by giving or tendering it directly to the addressee or importer or exporter or his customs broker or his authorized representative including employee, advocate or any other person to any adult member of his family residing with him. Clause B, by a registered post or speed post or courier with acknowledgement due delivered to the person for whom it is issued or to his authorized representative if any at his last known place of business or residence. Clause C, by sending it to the email address as provided by the person to whom it is issued or to the email address available in any official correspondence of such person. Clause C, by making it available on the common portal. Clause D, by publishing it in a newspaper widely circulated in the locality in which the person to whom it is issued is last known to have resided or carried on business. Or clause E, by affixing it some conspicuous place at a last known place of business or residence of the person to whom it is issued, and if such mode is not practicable to any reason, then by affixing a copy thereof on the notice board of the office or uploading on the official website if any. So section 153 is mode of service, order, etc. Okay, section 153 is mode of service, order, etc. Section 154 is correction of clerical error, etc. Section 154 is correction of clerical error, etc. So clerical or arithmetical mistakes in any decision or order passed by the central government, the board or any officer of customs under this act, or errors arising therein from any accidental slip or omission may at any time be corrected by the central government, the board or such officer of customs or the successor in office of such officer as the case may be. So section 154 is correction of clerical errors, etc. Section 154A, rounding off of duty, etc. Section 154A, rounding off of duty, etc. The amount of duty, interest, fine, penalty, or any other sum payable, and the amount of refund, drawback, or any other sum due under the provisions of this Act shall be rounded off to the nearest rupee, and for this purposes, where such amount contains a part of a rupee consisting of a paise, then if such part is 50 paise or more, it shall be increased to 1 rupee, and if such part is less than 50 paise, it shall be ignored. Okay, section 154A, rounding off of duty, etc. Section 154B, publication of information respecting persons in certain cases. Section 154B, publication of information respecting persons in certain cases. In the same subsection 1 is, if the central government is of opinion that it is necessary or expedient in the public interest to publish the names of any person and any other particulars relating to any proceedings or prosecutions under this act in respect of such person, it may cause to be published such names and particulars in such manners as it thinks fit. Subsection 2. No publication under this section shall be made in relation to any penalty imposed under this Act until the time for presenting an appeal to the Commissioner of Appeals under Section 128 or the Appellate Tribunal under Section 129A, as the case may be, has expired without an appeal having been presented, or the appeal, if presented, has been disposed of. Explanation: in the case of a firm, company, or other association of persons, the names of the partners of the firm, directors, managing agents, secretaries, and treasurers or managers of the company, or the members of the association, as the case may be, may also be published if, in the opinion of the central government, circumstances of the case justify it. So section 154 is publication of information respecting of persons in certain cases. Okay. Section 154C. Section 154C is, the board may notify a common portal to be called the Common Customs Electronic Portal for facilitating registration. In the same, the board may notify a common portal to be called the Common Customs Electronic Portal for facilitating registration, filing of bill of entry, shipping bill, or other documents and forms prescribed under this act, or any other law for the time being in force, or the rules or regulations made thereunder, payment of duty, and for such other purposes as the board may by notification specify. So section 154 AC is, the board may notify a common portal to be called the Common Customs Electronic Portal for facilitating registration. So this one also is important section in the Customs Act 1962. So guys, we have seen in this video from section 151 to section 154 AC. So the sections 155 to section 161 we are going to see in the next video. So once again I am repeating the sections which we have seen in this video. The section 151 is certain officers required to assist officers of customs. Section 151A, instructions to officers of customs. Section 151B, reciprocal arrangement for exchange of information facilitating trade. Section 152 is delegation of powers. Section 153 is modes of service of notice, order, etc. Section 154 is correction of clerical error, etc. Section 154A, rounding off of duty, etc. Section 154B, publication of information respecting persons in certain cases. Section 154AC, the board may notify a common portal to be called the Common Customs Electronic Portal for facilitating trade registration. Okay. So section 154 AC is the board may notify a common portal to be called the Common Customs Electronic Portal for facilitating registration. So guys, these sections we have seen in this video. Now upcoming sections of the chapter number 17 Miscellaneous of the Customs Act 1962 we are going to see in the next video. So guys, humble request to all of you, please listen my videos again and again to understand the Customs Act 1962. This is act language, so you have to listen videos again and again to gain knowledge about the Customs Act 1962 and to understand the Customs Act 1962. Thank you guys for watching my video. We'll meet you again in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.